at you with another video. Heck of a time to turn on the camera, but something came to mind that I just wanted to say. It ain't nothing you ain't heard before, but it is something that I think is an important thing to listen to in regards to doing activities out here on these streets as a young person. For the older heads, if you in your 40s and 30s or whatever, this is already worked into the game. You know what you're in for, you know why you shouldn't be doing this, and you choose to because you can't snap out of your old ways. That is exactly what's going on with you in a lot of cases. For most of us who are younger, for the young people out there rather, because I'm definitely not, but for most of y'all who are young, teenagers, 20s, or parents who are raising teenagers, 20s, there's something you need to know about the streets, bro. There's two places this thing leads to: death or jail. That's it, fam. There's only two places this thing leads. You're either gonna end up dead or you're gonna end up in jail. The glory of it all is short term. You signing up for that. That's what I want people to understand. Don't be confused when you sign up to be a part of these streets, or you sign up to be a part of these organizations or these crews or whatever. When you sign up for that, whatever that is glorified in it is literally supposed to be understood to be not how you end your life. You're not going to end your life in a blaze of glory, shooting at your ops, continuing to win these battles. You're not going to end your life as some great drug dealer who made all this money, got the most beautiful girls. All of those things that come with this, if you're able to reach those levels, they are understood to be temporary. The feds control the atmosphere you're in. They close in on you because they control the atmosphere itself. So it's not about whether or not you're going to get caught. It's about whether or not you're going to die before you do. And that's what I would tell anybody that's in the streets, anybody that's young, particularly in the streets. Anybody. If you're young in these streets, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, all the way up to like 29, basically, you need to understand, whatever it is that you're glorifying, whatever it is that your homeboys are glorifying, whatever it is that the old heads have told you or whatever, if they survived the wars, it's temporary. You don't get to enjoy whatever it is that you enjoy. And as you grow older, it stops being enjoyable. As you grow older and people around you in your age range start to move on and start having families, start to move on and start moving up in the world, moving out of these neighborhoods, start getting grown in it, suddenly as they move into spaces that are more mature, the environment itself from which it's cool to do these things stop being cool. Now you start being looked at as childish the older you get, as to where the squares, when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, be looking up to the G's or be fearful of the G's or whatever the energy is, be fearful of it, be enamored by what it is y'all able to get. What ends up happening is, as they grow older, they start realizing you're not cool. And now, as you start to go into spaces where you're getting older doing this stuff, you end up being the uncool crowd. See, that's the part that they don't necessarily paint out well enough. You start getting into your 40s and 50s, you're a granddaddy, in the environment where the squares are 40 and 50, nobody thinks it's cool to be a G. You're the stupid ones. You're the ones that couldn't understand that you would sign up for short-term stuff in a long-term life. You can only enamor youngsters with thinking that stuff is cool. You start living your life, you start realizing nothing cool about it. Most of these people friends is dead. Most of these OG's friends is in jail. Most of the women that they used to think was pretty is strung out. They're crackheads now in a lot of cases. Or grandmothers. They're not even thinking about, some of the stuff that they used to be enamored with, man. They struggling. Some of them poor. Because they never learned how to feast for themselves. They was always attached to these These people on the streets who had money, and when they get killed and go off in jail, now the women who are supposed to be attached to them suddenly don't have no way to fend for themselves. They end up attached to some abusive ass man with a bunch of kids. Or end up attached to somebody who's in jail and raising a bunch of kids by themselves. It's not glamorous to them anymore. They're not glamorous to be around anymore. When you do a bunch of evil stuff or you do a bunch of destructive stuff, you don't age well. You do things destructive to your body to cope with the evil that you're doing. So you're going to take drugs. You're going to drink. You're not going to take care of your body in a lot of cases. So a lot of these people who survive these wars, they age poorly. They end up not looking as good anymore. They didn't age well. Life kicked their ass for the evil they did. You got to understand, this is not a long-term positive thing. You get a nice little run on the streets, then you die, go to jail, get strung out, or in a rehab program trying to tell people how not to find themselves in these situations. Spitting the same stuff at you that I'm spitting at you now. It's not cool, bro. It's only cool because youthfulness is enamored with things that are destructive because it doesn't respect time. It doesn't see how things play out. It didn't watch the young girl that everybody thought was so fine, who all the drug dealers want to be with, suddenly turn into a woman that ain't no good to be around because she's strung out and all these different energies. You ain't seen how that play out, so you still think it's cool because you're in the beginning stages of the game. Once you see how that game play out, it's not a fun game. It's too many losers. Once you see how the street game plays out, it's not too many people winning in that game. And the older you get, more tired you become, the more difficult it is to watch your back for all the evil that you've done to these people out here. You did something when you were 19 years old, took somebody off the earth. You 65 years old, still waiting for somebody to get back at you for that, man. It ain't worth it, bro. You still think that you start coming into an understanding of spirituality and karma. And the older you get and your body starts to wear down and get tired, the more real it becomes that now, as you're tired and as an old man, the karma's still coming after you. At some point in time, you may catch a bullet for that. At some point in time, somebody may poke your ass up for that. At some point in time, the feds may come and get you for something you did back in '93. Something that you wouldn't do right now because you got grandbabies. If anything, you're trying to keep your grandbabies from finding themselves in those circumstances. You become a terrified grandfather, worried that your children are going to face fates that some of your homeboys did for doing the things you did. That's what happens to a lot of them. Or they never grow up. Like a lot of them don't. Because they've been engaging in remedial behavior, they grow up to be remedial-minded individuals who still think it's cool to be outside when they're 60. Still think it's cool to be outside when they're 45. Still trying to run fades. Getting knocked all the way out. I'm telling y'all, man. It's only cool, with all due respect to my very smart young people, it's only cool because you're stupid, fam. And somebody needs to word it that way so y'all get it. Youthfulness is aligned with naivete and stupidity, recklessness, not respecting time, not respecting the wear and tear of things. That's what comes with being young, because you're at the beginning of everything and everybody around you at the beginning of everything. For the most part, the people that you were willing to attach yourself to are at the beginning of the game too. If you were to start at the end and work backwards, you would not even be interested in the game. Because it's a who's who of what happened to you. That's what the game is. A who's who of what happened to you. What the hell happened to you? You used to be the man back in school. What the hell happened to you? That's what the streets is, a who's who of that. And the feds go continue to try to clean these damn streets up. So if you're going to be out there, they're looking to make the walls close in on you. They're looking to tap your phone. They're looking to put more and more surveillance on every damn thing everywhere. So anywhere you do any damn thing, you're going to be seen on camera. It's not the same game as it used to be in the 80s. You know what I mean? When you go into a liquor store, it may be one camera pointed in one direction. Nah, that ain't what the world is right now. So it's harder for y'all to get away with these different things. It's harder for you not to find yourself locked away. It's harder for the ops to not know who you are. Get the low on you. Sometimes, and this is outside of my wheelhouse, but I can fathom such, and I've heard of stories like this, so I feel like I can say this much. Sometimes, the people that you think you're in opposition with are tied in with the people who are looking to lock you away. And you wonder how you know who did what, how this person, because that person who told you that person's locked in with people who are doing wrong in a different way. That's why the game doesn't age well, man, because it's getting harder and harder to survive it. It's getting harder and harder to stay free. A lot of y'all are like, man, I'm crashing out. I don't plan on living past 30. Unfortunately, the cops, the feds are going to get to you before them bullies do. You think you're going out in a blaze of glory, shooting your ops or whatever, you think that's a glorious way to die? You may not go that way. You may be stuck inside surrounded by a bunch of dudes for 75 years. The rest of your damn life. Because you didn't effectively did what it is you were aiming to do, which is kill somebody or a few. You got your bodies, they lock people up for that forever, bro. They put people on death row for stuff like that. You're gonna be surrounded by dudes until you die, fam. I hope you like that type of thing. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a horrible reality for you. It's not cool, bro. You're selling drugs to get rich. You're selling poison to people. People strung out because of you, because of what you put on the streets. People trying to do weird stuff to you because this and that in regards to that game. It ain't just you getting money and running around with pretty girls and fly stuff. Nah, bro. They tapping shit. They tapping your phone, bro. They got surveillance on everywhere you go. They got surveillance on the cars that you walk by. When you did whatever drill you did, yeah, was that a Tesla? Yeah, man, they got you on camera right there. So it's like this game, man, I can tell you this. The devil and the feds are going to, and I'm going to say this and I mean it, they're going to want you to continue to play this game. Even though it's less likely that you're going to want to play it because it's less likely you're going to be able to win, they still going to try to use platforms, use whatever within their influential ability to make you feel like you should still be playing these games. They're going to use music. They're going to use art. They're going to use, what's the latest thing right now? Podcasts, glorifying gangster stuff, glorifying snitching, so that you will keep on doing stuff like this because it's a big business putting you in jail. It's a big business. When you get shot in your whatever and now you need to be hospitalized, it's a big business putting you on that medication. So like, it's a big business getting you off the liquor. It's a big business getting you off drugs. People are making a lot of money in corporate spaces off of your downfall. And this is how they keep their business going, by continuing to funnel you into these spaces. But they want to be successful in putting you away too, winning these cases. So they got to also glorify and dumb down the fear that comes with failing in this game. If you're not so afraid of failing the game and you don't think prison's that bad, or you value attention and views and content more than you value your freedom, then we can effectively make not only getting in the gangs cool, but also getting yourself caught cool too. That's what they're experimenting right now. So it's like, I said all this to say, if you're raising children out here, especially you ain't got a lot of money in these neighborhoods, you need to start thinking like I'm thinking. You need to start telling these kids the end game is what they need to be getting a healthy dose of, to know the difference between what's best for them and what's only destined to give them a short-term amount of fake glory. It's not real glory. That's not your real enemy. Just because he has a different hood and stuff happened back in 1987, these people have been warring ever since. That's not your real enemy, bro. You don't know that dude like that. That might be the most realest person in your crew, but because y'all on the different side of the spectrum, it's not cool for y'all to even know each other. So you got people you respect so very much on the other side, people that you don't respect at all, don't trust at all on your side, but it's just confusion, man. It's not real. It doesn't vet people well. You don't know what the hell you're actually a part of, really, until it's too late. And then you find yourself in jail and they rope you all together into bigger groups. So people that you thought you hated on the street are now people you connected with. It's just, it never ends. It's never going to make any sense. It's not a real thing. It's only real because we make it real and because we can't forgive. And because we keep on being enamored with short-term glory that ain't even real glory. So I'm telling y'all, man, it's time to start normalizing telling the truth about these things and showing why this is in place. It's in place because there are people out there who want to invest in the deterioration of your communities and your people. This is why this is in place. It's been kept going. They've been trying to clean up the streets, but they never effectively do it. For 50 years, they ain't never cleaned up the streets. Why? They've been trying so hard, but failing so much. Why? It's by design, fam. It's because it's a business, and nobody wants to go out of it. Video 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.